Now, I'm an honest guy. I'm simple. I don't start fights with nobody, and I always tell the truth. But I'm in the business of image processing, and sometimes we gotta stretch the truth a little bit. Here, I'll give you an example. I'm working on a content aware resizing code, right? Changing the size of the image based on the content in it. And that's all cool, but the problem is you're kind of altering the landscape of reality, you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm taking a photo with my son, and no matter what I say, he just won't cozy in next to me. He just won't get close. So I'm saying, don't you love your papa? Just for a minute, come in and stand next to me. But he wouldn't do it, so I said, screw it. I'll fix it in post. So I write up my code and I run the picture through, get us close together, and I just take it to my son. I show it to him. I say, I tricked you. Yeah, I got you. There's nothing you can do about it, You want to know what he says to me? He says, Dad, you're a liar, and I never loved you. And that stung, but what was even worse? He's my roommate, and he kicked me out of the house. So now I got nothing. I'm squatting in this basement, got nothing but my PC, and I wouldn't much like to talk about it, so let's get down to how I did this thing and get this thing over with. So the method we used here is based off of a 2007 paper by Avidan and Shamir. So you start with your picture, right? Maybe it's of you and your son, maybe not so much. Anyway, so you got to make this thing content aware, right? And the basic procedure here is to convert your image into an energy function. And there's a lot of different ways you can do this, but in this case, we decided to use a gradient-based energy function. So once you got your image into your energy function, you can start your resizing process. Now, what differentiates this algorithm from other methods of resizing like cropping or taking out random pixel lines is it carves seams throughout the image between areas of high visual data. Kind of like a path of least resistance, like how my son takes it, you know what I mean? Anyway, so once you get a 1 pixel wide seam and you remove it from your image, the image is effectively 1 pixel width smaller. So you keep on repeating this until the image is the size that you want it, essentially. So let's talk a little bit about how we implemented this. So first, you got to figure out which seams are the best ones to take out, i.e. which seams go through the least amount of visual data. So what I did here is I started at each pixel in the first row, and then I carved a seam. I said, which of these pixels has the least energy? And I kept on doing that, carving a seam to the bottom, and I did it for every possible seam in the whole image. And while I'm doing that, I'm collecting the sum cost of that seam so that I can organize the seams from least important to most important. And then I take this order, and I run the seams through again, taking the pixels out of the image. And I only do as many seams as I need to get the image to the size that I want it. And basically from here it's done. So, it's not too bad, is it? I'm not too much of a bad guy, Maybe I can't get cleared from my son, but maybe you guys will clear me. Anyway, let's get to the results. So let's talk about this first image here. This one's of me and my son, and it worked out pretty well because I set it up that way. I had a regular background between the two of us, solid color, not too much visual data going on there, and there's a few artifacts. Like if you take a look at my shoulder here, it's a little bit clipped off, and if you take a look at his arm, it's slightly less wide. It's not like he has some sort of defect or something freaky. It's just that was the algorithm's fault. And also, you can clearly see that there's a divide because there was more light over where I was. So, but other than that, as far as the algorithm goes, I'd say that one was a success. Moving on, I decided to I'm becoming a connoisseur in Japanese art. I'm trying at least. So I decided to take this wave image and reduce its size a little bit. This one turned out pretty well, I thought. There's a few artifacts here and there. If you look over towards the right side, the right bottom corner, there's a bit of jaggedness there, and over on the left side, you can kind of see a few of the seams. But again, this one was another success. But to take a look at somewhere where the algorithm might not do so well, might not do too hot, is the crowd image. So this image is pretty much full of visual data. So whatever you do, you're gonna lose some stuff. But at least we can say that it got mostly everyone's face in there. And it's definitely doing what it's supposed to. It's just not an ideal situation. You know what I mean? So I may not have won my son's love back, and I'm still in a dirty basement. But I hope you guys don't write me off like he did, and I hope you enjoyed the video and maybe learned something. Anyway, have a pleasant day. Peace.
Say that you love me. Hey, baby, you didn't go for that.